everyone, Brian here from Native Instruments. I'm here at Musician's Friend to give you a look at what's new on the Traktor Kontrol S4. I'm going to be going over the new features and showing you what makes this controller so special. Let's take a look. One of the most unique features of the S4 are the jog wheels. We've reinvented the jog wheels and now they have haptic drive. So what does that mean? Well, there's 3 different modes that the jog wheel can be in. The first one is jog mode, which works like a standard jog wheel. By pressing play, I can scratch the record, I can speed it up or slow it down. One thing that's pretty cool with this mode is I can actually adjust the torque directly from the hardware. By holding down jog, I can spin the platter to the left to loosen, or spin it to the right to tighten it. So now, when I have it tighter, it's just a lot more stiff. Even though the platter has a high torque on it, one thing that I can do is actually backspin. By touching the top of the platter and doing a backspin, it loosens the torque, allowing it to spin a lot more freely. The next mode I have is turntable mode. By pressing the TT button, I'm now able to adjust it just like I would a turntable. By pressing play, it starts to rotate. I can scratch it, I can slow it down just by touching the side of the platter, or speed it up by nudging it on the side. Just like jog mode, I'm also able to do a backspin where it loosens the torque and spins back faster. Now, both of these modes have haptic feedback. What this means is if I select the hotkey, for example, hotkey 1, as I scratch it, I'll be able to feel that hotkey directly under my fingertips. This allows me to feel exactly where the hotkey is and not have to look at the software to find that marker. Jog mode also has haptic feedback where if I spin the platter on the side, I'm able to feel little clicks or grooves on the edge of the platter. The last mode with the jog wheel is grid mode. Beat gridding in Traktor, it's really the backbone of the software. The white lines that you see in the software count where the beats are of the track, the 1, 2, 3, and 4. This allows for timed effects to be in perfect sync and also allows you to sync your tracks together. Traktor automatically grids this in the software, but there are times where you need to make adjustments. I can do this by holding the grid button and spinning the platter to the left or to the right, and it's going to slide over the grid markers accordingly. Once it's lined up, I now know that if I hit sync on 2 different records, they're going to be perfectly lined up. Another thing that we've added to the hardware and the software are these 4 mixer effect buttons in the center. What these allow me to do are add quick effects to the tracks that I'm playing, for example, like reverb, delay, noise, and flanger. There are up to 8 that I can choose from, and I can choose what effects I want in each slot by doing that inside of the software. For example, effect slot 1, I have a reverb. On slot 2, I have a flanger. I have a delay on number 3. Or number 4, I have noise. The great thing with these effects are you have the effect itself, like the reverb, but there's also a filter attached to it. This allows it to always sound good. If I'm using the reverb and turning the knob to the right, it's applying a filter so that the low end doesn't have too much reverb and muddy up the signal. One of the unique features with these mixer effects are that you're able to mix and match what effect you want on different channels. For example, if I want the reverb on deck A, but I want to have my deck C here always be a noise effect, I can just hold my noise effect slot, which is number 4, and press the on button. And now I have the reverb on deck A and noise on deck C. Now, directly below the platters, I have this whole section down here. I have the display in the center, which allows me to see the most important information I would want to see when I'm performing a track. I have the current BPM, the key, time remaining, and the loop size. Below the screens, I have 8 RGB pads. Above the pads, I have these 3 buttons that dictate what the pads will be controlling. I have hot cues, which allow me to trigger my hot cues, jump forwards and backwards through the track. Next to hot cues, I have the samples button, which allows me to trigger the samples that I have in my remix decks. So for example, I could have different loops in there, such as hi-hat loops or vocal loops, and have those be layered on top of the track that's currently playing. I can also load in one-shot samples and play them live. But next to the samples button, I have this record button, which allows me to record the pattern that I just played and have it loop over and over. The next button to the right are stems. I'm able to control the stems directly from the hardware. When stems is engaged, I'm able to mute and unmute the various stems, or I could select a stem and control the volume, or I can engage the filter or filter an individual stem. One additional feature that we've added to the software and the hardware are these 2 buttons right here. I'm able to turn on flux mode, or I can also use a reverse. Hopefully this gives you some basic information on what's new on the Traktor Kontrol S4. For more information, visit musiciansfriend.com. Thanks for watching.